night on the Southern Ireland repeater network. Shawnee, the newsreader, had 41 call into it, which is a huge call in. So things are going very well on that front. So again, your signal stream 9 Kurt, great audio, good signal. ON7 OFF, EI 2HI, over.
And then probably there's going to be a lockdown again, and I think I'm pretty accurate on what I think. So anyway, I learned from my ticket, so I cannot learn more. Maybe I could start to train myself CW regarding the radio. Maybe I might just start to do some, or to learn programming. I just use the lockdown as opportunities to learn something. Probably I've been wondering if I could do it, but probably learning something like programming, computer programming. That would be fantastic because, you know, whatever happens in the future, and you can do programming and you can sell your skills. You can be anywhere on the planet. You can do it everywhere. You can do it online, and you're not only supposed to stay in your home country when you exercise your job. So I think it's a good idea to do something like that there, So it's one thing that I would like to look forward. But yeah, great stuff, mate. And I want to congratulate you with the repeater on the Zello. It absolutely works fine. It's just fantastic, mate. Back to you. Echo India. Was it 2 Hotel India from Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Fox, over.
Yeah, okay, very good, Kurt. Well, you should make the Morse there a priority too. It's a great mode. You really will get into it. If you can get that Morse started, I think it's one of the best modes there on ham radio, really is. And when conditions are poor, it's great there to get out the key there, and no matter how weak your signal is, you'll still be able to make it out. I think you'll really, really enjoy it, Kurt. Yeah, the repeater network, it works very, very well, and it's fantastic the way the lads, it's down to 2 gentlemen, Echo India 8 Japan Alpha, the 8 and Neil, Echo India 3 Juliet Echo. They're the 2 guys who are the masterminds behind the whole system, and it works very, very well. And the fact that there's 7 repeaters, all linked in together. There's no internet installation of the repeaters. It's all RF. They're linked in, so there's no internet. The repeaters are still connected. So, but it's great that we have the Echo Link and those other modes there to connect into it as well. It's great. It's great to hear voices from all over the world calling through as well. But anyway, signal strength 9, peaking here, a little bit of QSB, Kurt. We drop back a little bit sometimes and then come right back up again. Beautiful dry day here today. Sun is shining, slight breeze from the north. We had a very stormy, windy day yesterday, but today is a lot calmer and a little bit cooler, but it's still dry and pleasant outside. Temperature 12 degrees Celsius, Kurt. ON7 OFF, EI number 2HI, over.
Yeah, EI number 2HI, ON7 OFF returning you, no problems, yeah. Same over here, but we got a lot of wind today. It was a stormy day. I was just sitting down outside, looking at the fishing rod, bending over. I have a support in the middle of my vertical for 40 meters, so it's supported in the middle. But you can see the top end of the fiberglass or carbon fiber, because it's a carbon fiber pole. It's supposed to be carbon glass, but I only found carbon fiber. And you can see it going left and right with the wind, so it's kind of funny. As long as it doesn't break, it's okay, we have to stay in the air, for sure. I've got some spare fishing rods in case it breaks down there, And if I just look at the lockdown. You have to look it from the bright side. it's maybe an opportunity in life that will never come back again, where you can, be paid for doing nothing by the government and at the same time learn stuff, do stuff that you wanted to do all your life, but now you have plenty of time. So I don't know. The market is still open where I attend the market. It's still there. So I still have to go to the market, but if they shut it down, it means that I will be stuck again at home. It's going to be different though than what we have in the springtime because the WX won't be very favorable to go outside and do stuff outside. But on the other hand, we'll have plenty of time for the radio debut. Echo India 2, Hotel India from ON7OFF.
Yeah, okay, Kurt, final that from Echo India 2, Hotel India. Yeah, well, I don't know, I saw there's basically no end in sight, that's the worry though, Kurt. There's no end in sight, and if we knew this, for another year, I say it would be totally gone in a year, well then you say, fair enough, okay, well let's get through this then together and make it that year. But there's no guarantee that in a year's time it'll be gone. But anyway, time will tell. And find there on the markets and groceries and doing the shopping like that. And comment on the fishing rod, Kurt. What length of fishing rod have you up there for 40 meters? What length of fishing rod is it, over?
Yeah, it's 10 meter. It is 10 meter high, and I mounted next to the fishing rod a bazooka. So if you want, I can give you the schematics. It's a bazooka. But I should actually make another switching box because I've got 4 positions for my antenna switch box. I should make one that has 6 positions. If I have 6 positions on the fishing rod, on the antenna switch, I can start to play around with, switching over to a dipole, to the vertical, and compare stuff, But I tell you, I'm very surprised. I planted this fishing rod in the middle of my chicken coop. So far so good, didn't have fried chicken, neither had any fried eggs, but it works absolutely fantastic. And I made a few QSOs on 40 meters with New Zealand, just on the simple power of the transceiver. So about 100 whiskeys. I spoke to Lima, Lima Zulu, November Zulu, Lima Zulu, I don't remember the call signs. But anyway, it was Romeo Mike Foxtrot at the end, Mr. Rom there in New Zealand. And he could pick me up just, he's also vertical. He is in Christchurch, but he's also vertical. So he was vertical to vertical with just 100 whiskeys. And that was also a big surprise. I was hoping this morning that I would have some skip with, the Pacific over the gray line, but I didn't hear anything. I just heard Victor Kilo Station, and he made a long QSO with someone. I didn't want to interrupt the QSO, but by the time the QSO was done, he was gone. And I didn't hear anything else on 40 meters this morning from that heck of the woods there. So, absolutely fantastic. And by the way, I'm live streaming as usual. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can check it out over there. People, they tend to like it when I do this live stream because you can review back and people, they can actually see how they sound here in Belgium. Back there, Echo India 2, Hotel India from ON7OFF, over.
Yeah, okay, fine on that. Tell me, you mentioned there a bazooka for 40 meters. How do you find the bazooka? And well done on the QSO into ZL as well, by the way. That Zulu Lima is the prefix for New Zealand. But I'm guessing from what you're saying that you have a 40-meter bazooka antenna up there. Did you do an A-B comparison between the bazooka and the vertical? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the bazooka is a vertical. But that's the problem. I don't have outputs on my antenna switch. I made my own antenna switch. It's very, very easy to make and very inexpensive. You can use 10 amps relays, and it's a little bit of soldering. I would like to make one that has 6 positions. I made it myself because the problem is that in all these commercial antenna switches that you can buy out there on internet or in the commerce in the shops, they require 4 or 5 phase wires to the connection between the controller for the antenna switch and the antenna switch itself, which I find very weird because I can manage to control 6 antennas with only 3 wires. So I don't need more than 3 wires. Because, I don't know if you remember, but my antenna is 75 meters away from the home and from the shack. And there is a long cable going from the shack to the tree where I've got everything set up. And the thing is, that's the whole point. I have a 9-phase cable next to my coaxial cable that I have from the shack to the antenna location, and I can only use 3 of them because the remaining 6 I would like to reserve them for antenna rotor systems and other stuff. So I can send you the details. It's very easy to build a bazooka. You just need some RJ58 cable. I've been making lots of antennas out of RJ58. I also make the Gainmaster for 10 meters or 11 meters, also just mounted on a fishing rod, and this is the same principle, except that there is no stud. On the Gainmaster you have a stud on the antenna, but not on the bazooka. But it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to make there. Back to you. Echo India 2 Hotel India from ON7OFF.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you there, Kurt. Yeah, do send it on to me there, what you have. I'd appreciate that. From Echo India 2 Hotel India. I was thinking of the double bazooka. How you keep that out vertical. But yeah, okay, it's the bazooka itself. Okay. Well, you can send it on to me there, Kurt. I'd appreciate that. If you send it on, and it'd be interesting to see how you that set up, and I'm always interested in hearing what other people do and use there for the various bands. Particularly when it comes to wire antennas, I always enjoy using wire antennas, because number 1, you can make them yourself. Number 2, if a storm comes, breaks them, damages them, they're easy enough to repair or replace. And you're not losing, especially the storms we can get now here in this part of Europe in the winter months. They can get very, very strong and damage a lot of that cultivated aluminium that we've up there in the sky, and it can be very expensive to repair or replace. So the wire antennas can prove to be a lot more, interesting from that point of view. Anyway, of course, I won't hold it much longer. I'll see what else is happening on the band here before I go and get some lunch. I'll get some dinner here with the XYL. But great to hear you there again, and appreciate the call here this evening. ON7OFF. This is Echo India number 2, Hotel India.
Yeah, Giselle, I just want to say hello to Mr. Harper, 2 Whiskey Zero Hotel Uniform, who is also listening with us through the live stream. Yeah, QSL, Hugh. When I'm talking about like 25, 30 years ago, I was also into the aluminium antennas. And back at the end of the 1990s, I had a 7-element for the 11 meter with a 14-meter boom and a 22-meter high tower. That was a hell of a thing, mate. And believe it or not, I put that antenna on top of that tower alone, just by myself. I can swear I was sweating like hell when I was on top of there and trying to pull that one up and make it work and put it horizontally. But crazy things. It's very heavy stuff, mate. I think maybe the weight is around 30, 40, 50 kilos. I don't remember exactly because it's long ago. I step away from all these aluminium tubes. It's way too expensive. It's way too heavy. It takes too much wind as well. And from now on, I only make and design antennas made out of wires and fishing rods. It's going to be much more lightweighted. It's going to be much more efficient, cost efficient regarding the rotor. And if it breaks down, it's not such a big problem because in general, these fishing rods are pretty inexpensive. We have a shop here in Belgium, and I'm not sure if you have it also in your country, in Ireland, but it's called Decathlon. And Decathlon also sell fishing rods, and you can buy them over there as well. They're pretty inexpensive. Now, I need to do some experiment. I would like to put some foam, insulation foam that they normally use in construction. It's very light. It's very, very light, but I would like to put the foam inside these fishing rods and see if it makes it much more, how could I say, resistant and solid. That would be fantastic if it works, but I need to do some tests. The thing is, I need to find just a moment to go to the shop and buy this, the foam that you have in a can, and you spray it and it becomes foam. It just expands. And I would like to put that in a tube, in a fishing rod tube, and then see if the fishing rod tube is going to be much stronger. It's a little bit the same principle that you have also in the aircraft industry. It's the same way they actually built these wings on the Boeing, and that would be maybe a good idea, because in general, it's very inexpensive, it's very lightweight, and I think it would be very interesting. Okay, well anyway, thank you very much for the QSO. I really appreciate. I will give you some feedback if I do this test with the fishing rods and doing some tests with that foam. If it works, why not, You could even maybe just use simple tubing for water tubing. Maybe it's even strong enough for that. Unfortunately, I don't have over here is bamboo, HI. Echo India 2, Hotel India from ON7OFF. Wishing you good evening. Thanks for checking, giving me, coming back to my call as well. I really appreciate it. And we'll talk maybe on 2 meters of the Zello repeater.
Yeah, okay, very good, Kurt. No problem at all. It's been a pleasure. And you just mentioned bamboos. I had thought about that myself. I have access to very tall bamboos, and that might be an option as well, so we'll see. Okay, Kurt, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. 73 ON7 OFF Echo India number 2 Hotel India. Bye-bye, Kurt.
Bye-bye, you, and take care. I'll talk to you soon. I'll come and say hello also on the repeater there in Ireland. Say hello to the other guys. OFF going clear. Bye-bye. Bye.
ON7 OFF MM0IHQ. Mike India 0, Sugar Delta Radio, Derek here. Mexico in 0 India Q.
I have some people calling me. I'm going to go up 10 kcs because this is not my frequency. I'm going to go up 10 kcs.
Okay, you Echo India 2 Hotel.
Okay, I hope this one is not available. Is not busy. ON7 OFF listening.
There's 7 or 8 guys calling. I'm sorry. The ON7, your call, please.
Yeah, were you using this frequency? Because I just moved to a frequency. Because if I'm disturbing, just let me know. Okay. This is Oscar November 7, Oscar Double Foxtrot, and location here is Brussels in Belgium. Over.
I'm not. There's 3 guys still talking at the same time. The Oscar November 7 only. ON7. What did you say? Repeat your message. Over.
Yeah, I was not sure. Maybe this frequency is in use. I just made a QSY. I was wondering if this frequency was in use. Over.
Okay, another CT is telling me the frequency is occupied. I'll catch you later. K8NY, QSY.
Yeah, I'm going to search for another frequency. Okay, 73.
ON7 OFF 14180. Over.
Okay, 180. We go. Okay, 180. Seems I have some splatter. Hold on, let me just check.
Yeah, ON7 OFF, it's MM0IHK. I just came back to your call, low down the frequency. Over.
Yeah, QSL, I have some other stations nearby on the frequency. Can you just hold on a second? I'll check if 3 kcs up is available, okay?
Yeah, no problem, I'll stand stand by, yep.
Is this frequency in use? Okay, we got to get a free frequency there. Mike something. Go up 3 kcs, mate. Over.
Mate, over. Okay, QSY to 14183, over.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I need to make a note of your call. Very good evening. This is ON7OFF. Over.
Over. Yeah, ON7OFF. It's M0IHK. Mike 0 India Hotel Kilo. Yeah, I was just listening into your QSO with the station in Southern Ireland about the wire antennas, and I was just intrigued because you're giving me a very, very strong signal here. Over.
Yeah, QSL. Mike 0 IHK. Is it correct? Over.
Over. Yeah, QSL. Mike 0 India Hotel Kilo, and I'm about 35 kilometers southwest of Glasgow, running about 100 watts, and I'm using a homemade vertical half-wave NFED resonance for this frequency. Over.
Yeah, QSL. Yeah, I'm happy to hear you there. Very good day to you. And regarding the QRZ, Moray, I have your first name correct. Nice to meet you, Moray. Sounding great here. I have you also, in the red. You can check it out. I have my live stream. You're actually on the show here. I've got my live stream running right now on YouTube. It's very easy. Just go to my QRZ page, and from there on you can easily click through from the first picture you see, and then you can see for yourself how you sound here. No problem, Moray. I build my own antennas, as I said, but I am actually new on the ham band, believe it or not. I've been a fanatic guy for 11 meters for 33 years. But I got the ticket during the lockdown. I was studying for the ticket, and I got through. So I got the A-class ticket, and finally we made it, So, but I quickly, after I finished doing the exam and, being successful, I quickly hurry, put some antennas, for the different bands, and I'm just using a dipole, wire dipole right now, and because I don't have the necessary tower and stuff like that, I had to be creative, and I am abusing the tree in my garden that is 75 meters away from the shack there, Moray. Back to you, Mike 0, India Hotel Kilo from ON7OFF in Belgium.
Yeah, ON7OFF MM0IHK. Well, you're giving me 20 decibels over, which is the strongest dipole antenna station I've ever had. I've been on 11 meters a long time ago, and I passed my amateur exam back in the 90s. I never used it for ages. I was off the band and just came back on. But yeah, I was just intrigued because you make homemade antennas and out of wire, and that's right up my street. I mean, I'm using a half-wave NFED, which I made myself, and I do a lot of portable work. So I was just interested to know what you were using because you're putting out a really, really good signal. Over.
Yeah, QSL, Moray, QSL. Yeah, I'm always surprised with the performance of this simple dipole. I think it was yesterday I was talking into Las Vegas. I just had to make one single call and I got through. And I made the QSO with a couple of people there in Las Vegas and with British Columbia. I think I should set up something like a tower that I can, lower and put it up, like, I don't know, some kind of a tower that I can easily put antennas on top. I'd love to build a quad, but I'm trying to do some designs myself in EasyNEC. So I try to do something that, is a little bit weird, but, who knows, it works. And with respect to also regarding the building features, so it should be easy to build. And I try to figure out some stuff right now on how to build it. If you go to my QRZ page, if you see the antenna that is right next to my truck where I'm, it's still no connection with the cable, HI, that was my 11-meter 4-element beam antenna. And wow, I had such a fantastic results with that antenna. You could not believe what is the difference between a vertical and that one. I couldn't hear anything, and then out of the blues, when I switch over to the beam antenna, it went from virtually 0 to 9. Never understood how it works, but how it was possible. But there's many factors, about antennas. The angle of attack is very important, especially if you're talking with people on the other side of the planet. You need a very low angle of attack. I think it's about 5 degrees, 4 to 5 to 6 degrees. That's why you actually have to have your gain, So, what antenna are you using there, Moray? Mike 0, India Hotel Kilo from ON7 OFF, over?
Over. Yeah, ON7 OFF, MM0IHK. I didn't get your name, I'll get that in the next over, the antenna I'm using now is a half-wave end-fed, and it's resonant for this frequency, so it's cut to about 9.6 meters, maybe 9.7, I can't remember exactly, and it's just a homemade coupler using a toroid, and it's wound, the wires are wound in the toroid. I think it's 2 primary and 10 or 11 secondary, I can't remember, just to bring the impedance down to 50 ohms. And it's a perfect match across the 20-meter band. And I've just got it mounted on a fiberglass pole. It's a fiberglass flagpole, not that expensive, pretty expensive, and it's just attached to the fence at the end of the garden. I don't have any beam antennas. I normally go portable. If you look at my QRZ page, I do a lot of portable and using military equipment. I'm actually using an old Yaesu FT767 from the 1990s. This was actually the first radio I actually used, and I used it on the 11-meter band as well. So it's a great radio, and I've just started it up today. I've not used it for a while, so I like to warm up and get everything working again. But I'm quite into military radios as well. If you look at my QRZ page, I've got quite a few military radios. But I was just listening into you talking to the guy in Southern Ireland, and it was interesting to hear you talking about wire antennas and how they're a lot cheaper to repair and it's less wind resistance. Yeah, there's a lot can be said for it. The only problem with wire antennas I find is you need to get some supports to put it up at a decent height. And you need some trees or things like that. If it's a beam antenna, you just need one vertical support. And I like a beam antenna here, but I do think they're a bit obtrusive as well, because they do tend to be quite obvious when they're up in the air over.
Yeah, QSL. Moray. Oh, my name is Kurt, by the way. Kilo Uniform Romeo Tango. Can you just confirm your name is Moray? Is the QRZ page accurate, over?
Yeah, that's correct. If you look at my QRZ page, MM0IHK, you can see the name there and the exact QTH. And, a couple of the radios use the military ones, but I'm not on the military one at the moment. I could switch over to that if you want to hear one, but, I just came back to you because you're putting out such a great signal. I know the band is pretty good today. I think the solar flux index is around about 75, so I'm getting very, very strong signals in Europe at the moment, over.
Yeah, QSL Moray. No problems there, mate. Yeah, I'm just looking at your QRZ page. These are really strong radios. I think you can even go and have a swim with them. I think they will even survive just a little swim in the park there, in the ocean there, or in the lake there, HI. Yeah, Moray, I was telling you there in Ireland, it's pretty expensive. The aluminium is very expensive these days. But I was crazy, when I was like 19, 20 years old. I put this huge 7-element on top of a tower. Lots of stories to tell about that one. A friend of mine helped me out, but there's a couple of stories. I should do it on my YouTube channel, you know. Start to explain all these stories that I have already experienced in 33 and more years of radio operating. But the point is, yeah, if you can have wires, it's going to be much cheaper. It's going to be much lighter. So you are also going to save money on the rotor. And that's also, of course, very interesting. I don't want to spend too much money on the rotor as well. And if it breaks down and you make it yourself, it is very easy to do. I have no experience, though, with the NFET antennas. But I'm not sure if it's true or not. Maybe you should do the test. Have a dipole on the same height and have an NFET, and have a look which one is more performant. I normally connect my dipoles straight, which is normally you should have also balloon, but I just managed to get a 1/1 or close very low SWR, and without any particular adjustments, and use it, you know, on the band. So I prefer to have my individual antenna for every individual band, and invest a little bit of money in a remote antenna switch, so you can switch over from one antenna to the other one, and it gives you also the possibility to compare stuff. But one dream antenna I have in mind is the cubicle quad. Cubicle quad, maybe 3-element would be good for all the different bands. I was listening to a guy from New Caledonia, I think it was like about 3-4 weeks ago, and he was booming into Belgium with his cubicle quad. I think I might just send him an email and ask him if he can give me, if he has the dimensions of his cubicle quad. It's a commercial one, but maybe he got the details. I'm not sure. Maybe he made a note of it. Yeah, that's something that I would love to have. But then I need to have a tower, so that's another problem, you know. But anyway, you probably, you know, it's even working very well right now for me. I'm really surprised. I never expected to have such a beautiful results with just simple dipoles and vertical antennas. For 40 meter, I use a vertical. If you go to my QRZ page, you will see actually the chicken coop, and in the middle of a chicken coop, you will see this carbon fiber glass pole sticking out of the chicken coop, and that's actually my vertical for the 40 meters. Believe it or not, it's carbon fiber. Normally, it's supposed to be glass. What is it? Glass fiber. But fiberglass. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I bought it on AliExpress, and it was mentioned that it was going to be fiberglass, but it happened to be carbon fiber when it arrived. So I took the best of it, and I said, okay, I'm still going to try it, and I'll still tune it with every means that is possible. And I was able to tune it down to a 1/1 on 40 meters. So it works. It's maybe not perfect. I think the only issue I have on 40 meters is QRM. The QRM level is very high. But maybe if you're going portable very often there, Moray, why don't you look into the DX Commander? Have you heard about that antenna?
Yeah, ON70FFMM0IHK. Yeah, I've heard about DX Commander. The only problem with that, Kurt, is you've got the ground plane wires, and if I walk up a mountain, the last thing I want to be doing is laying down ground planes. So the halfway of NFED, you don't need ground plane. I can share the design with you. I can actually send you that. If you've got an up-to-date email address on your QRZ, I can send you that. The halfway wave NFED, the advantage is you don't need to worry about ground planes. I've got a little bit of counterbuoys. That's just to get rid of the common mode current that comes back down the coax.
That is wrong.
Path of resistance, and it goes down the counterpoise. You can reduce that. So I've never had any problems with it. But yeah, the DX Commander is it's a good antenna, but it's not something I would want to use if I went out for just doing some quick DX, because of the amount of counterpoise you know, the ground plane wires that you have to put out, because it's ground mounted and it's a quarter wave on the band, so a quarter wave you need to have ground planes, whereas with a half wave you don't really need the ground planes, but you need a little bit of counterpoise to take away the common mode current. I actually use common mode choke, just toroids wrapped around the coaxial cable, and that stops any common mode. But at home, where I am now, I've actually got the radio set up in the garage, and the half-wave end-fed is attached to the garden fence, and I don't have any chokes on it at all, and I don't get any RF feedback, and I run between 100 and 150 watts on the radio, Kurt, over.
Yeah, QSL. Yeah, I've got my antennas very far away from the shack. It's 75 meters away from the shack, and I've got some ultra high quality coax cable from the shack to the antenna. So my loss on this very long cable is just. I just checked it the other day. I just put the 100 watts into the cable, and I get 89 watts out at the antenna side. So that's a very good or a very low loss actually for such a long distance. It's the open cable, the 5/8 inch open cable, and yeah, normally they sell it very expensive, but I was very fortunate. I was able to get a hold on this cable by someone who was moving to Ireland actually, and he wanted to get rid of this cable as fast as they could, and he sold it to me for a bargain. So I couldn't say no, and I'm so happy I did it, because you know if you have to buy it, it's going to cost me maybe like 10 times more per meter. So yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, my email address is correct. If you check it on the QRZ page, it's there. Regarding the X Commander, I like the idea, but I was thinking of if I would buy something or make something like in the X Commander, I would rather put it up in the air. I've got some. I don't have many obstacles. I'm pretty high, but I have some houses, my own house and the neighbor's house, that is within the vicinity of where I could position the antenna. And I think maybe if I want to have an angle of attack of 5 degrees, maybe the house could be an obstacle. So I should be over the house. So I would put it up. The only thing that I'm really worried about, something like a vertical like the DX Commander, is the RFI. I do follow the DX Commander YouTube channel, and it seems that Colum is having some troubles right now with some RFI that he's creating in the neighborhood on the internet provider or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know the details, but I quickly saw a video passing through, and I think that's the only disadvantage that you have, especially if you have a vertical. You might just cause a lot of RFI. And it's well known that beam antennas tend to be less prone to generate RFI in the neighborhood because it's just focused in one direction. So if your neighbor is listening to the radio and the church ceremony on Sunday, you just turn the antenna to the other side or the other way, and you turn it again when the ceremony is finished on the radio. HI. Back to you there, Moray. Mike 0, India Hotel Kilo from 17 OFF.
17 OFF, MM0IHK, yeah. I get your point on the quarter wave vertical. I think having it raised off the ground helps, to be honest. I think hex beams are pretty good from what I've seen. You could make a homemade one of them with fiberglass poles or carbon fiber. It was interesting that you said that you had a carbon fiber pole and you used that on 40 meters, and it works really well. And you know, I always used to think, oh, carbon fiber, you shouldn't go near that, but until you try something and actually experiment, you don't really know. And but you're putting out an amazing signal. It's amazing, really. I don't know what my audio sounds like on this old radio, but it's from the 1990s, and this is the first radio I ever bought when I got into amateur bands. I used to use 11 meters. I had the old Cobra